Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here on January 28th. Special show. This one's called Bring Me the Head of Dean DaCosta. Okay? He is the sourcing guru. Every time he writes a book, once every few years, he says, hey, Recruiting Animal, I am coming on your show to promote my book. And I say, thank God. Thank God we get Dean again, okay? Here he is.
It's funny.
And here's Tommy Pistachio Elascio. Dean DaCosta has a new book. I just said it a minute ago. Dean, what's the title of your book?
The AI Augmented Recruiter Sourcer Researcher Era. Practical
what
prompting
a terrible
for
title. He's got a book about...
Tell ChatGPT that. They said it was great.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, as a human being, the title for this book. It's about recruiting in AI for recruiters for beginners, okay? That's what it's about. AI in recruiting for beginners. And he focuses on two formats, two kinds of prompts that you're going to use, okay? And here's what I got out of it. I've been reading bits and pieces about AI, and, I just didn't take them seriously. This book cost me $10 Canadian, okay? Everything usually that these guys are saying, oh, it's cheap, it's double for me because my dollar's worth nothing. It was $10. I'm happy I got it. So it didn't cost me that much, and it was worth reading. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I had these bits and pieces in my mind, like, take a role, say you're going to be a recruiter. I just didn't take it seriously. I didn't know what was important. When I read his book, I got a good base. And what I found out was that I could start looking at those other videos about AI on YouTube, and I understood what they were talking about when they were talking about layered. Layered, he doesn't talk about layered context. I'll ask him about that. And about stacking prompts and simple prompts. I understood that. All of a sudden, it was like the door opened, okay? This was like a gateway drug for me, the AI. I know I can look at the other videos. Now, it was just... I had like the bits of vocabulary. Now I can put them all together. Now, Dean, you might say, I wish this idiot would shut up. He's making my book look stupid. But you don't have to worry, Dean, because no one's going to see this anyway. The Recruiting Animal Show is only for a select few people. I've just got to tell you.
Prompt. Michael sent me your prompt, the one that says objective design a structured sourcing strategy for this role.
Finish. Don't take control of the show yet. No. We've got to ask Dean the warm-up question, okay? Wait 1 second. Tom, I'm going to give you the floor as much as you want. You're one of my AI gurus that I usually don't understand. Now I'll understand. But Dean's got to answer this warm-up question. Are you ready, Dean?
Sure.
Take it seriously. Okay. Can a 23-year-old be a recruiting coach?
Depends on how long he's been recruiting. It depends on, or she. It depends on what training they've had. It depends on what information.
Yes, in other words, that's a yeah, okay?
It's not about how old you are. It's about how much time have you taken to actually learn the craft and learn what goes with it in order to be able to assimilate it and then help others.
Okay, but specifically with AI in mind, which supposedly young people know better than us, okay? Are they going to be better because they are taking to AI faster than other people, more experienced recruiters, older recruiters?
I don't think so at all. I'm 62 and I'm a prompt engineer. I can run rings around most of the people that are supposedly.
Well, you're not a typical person. Oh, you're not a typical person. You're a guru.
Dean, you have to understand everything with Michael is black and white. Right, so it's either it is or it isn't. There is no in between. There is no gray area. So,
okay,
he's a Sith.
Only this is gonna be.
Michael. Okay. No. So I made a mistake. I sent your sourcing formula to Tommy. Okay, so he tried it out. Now he wants to run the show because he.
I don't want to run the show. I just say it
was
great.
You do. Go ahead. I got a structured presentation, but no, you want to take control, Tommy? You ask him. You tell him right away. But here's how I'll set it up. Wait 1 sec. Dean tells you what prompts to use to do sourcing. We asked last week, can AI reconstruct your Boolean search strings? And Dean says, yes, they can. Okay.
Did a great job.
Okay, so go ahead, Tom. Now you're set up. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. And it wasn't. I wasn't trying to take control of your show.
I'm just kidding.
wanted
Give
to
me a break.
comment,
Don't be so
Mr.
sensitive. Okay,
DaCosta,
this guy's always telling us he's
prompt,
thick-skinned, right?
Is so often you'll find these people will put these prompts together that are fucking 15 pages long. This prompt was quick, to the point, and it did exactly what it said it would do. And because I've recruited in this role several times, I've filled lots of positions. Everything it pulled together was perfect. It was, and in fact, it added a little more that I didn't even think of doing. So yeah, it did a great job.
So just as an FYI, Tom, the one that you're talking about is, if I say a prompt on a scale of 1 to 10, there's no such thing as 10. That'd be perfect. Now, let's get real. 1 to 9, the prompt you used is a 6. The prompt I used to do the same job is a 9.
It's a 9. The one I got to pay you for, right?
I've been offered a lot for it, and I'm not giving it out just yet because it took me a long time to think. None of my prompts are 10 pages long. I think the longest prompt I have is probably the sourcing prompt, and it's probably 3, but it's designed in a particular manner to make it easy. It is using the POS system from the book, which is prompt outline stacking system. The idea
Your
is
prompt
simple.
ask you questions as you're going through it.
It can if I wanted to, but I don't need
That's
it
what
to
mine
ask.
do. A lot of
Yeah,
mine do
I
that.
don't need it to ask me questions because I kind of already know what the questions are it would ask. So I'm setting it. So when you create a prompt to do it properly, you have to have
Wait a
human
second.
interaction.
Okay, let me. You guys are so verbose. Okay, wait a second.
Oh,
I read, and this is what I figured out. Like
wow.
I
other
gotta look
people
up that
say,
term.
no. Other people
Recruiting
say,
Animal's been reading the dictionary lately. Verbose.
Somebody send him a $5. That's a $5 word.
hold on a second.
Yeah, he probably
You-
looked it up on
okay,
chat.
okay,
What's a big
everybody.
word I could say that might confuse Dean to
Okay,
ChatGPT,
everybody.
and it came up with verbose.
Okay, everybody. Okay. So Dean just gave me a shocker. He said, look, what I'm giving you in my book, the prompt for sourcing, that's a 6 out of 10. That's the rating I would give it. He says, but the one I'm using myself that I'm not giving you is a 9. That's a shocker. But because I read Dean's book, I was smart enough to go on YouTube, and I found videos there that said, hey, you want to make your prompt a 10 out of 10? Ask your prompt what's wrong with your current prompt and ask it to improve the prompt. And then, if you're using ChatGPT, go to Claude and feed it in there and tell it to improve it, and then come back to ChatGPT. The AI can improve your prompts. Dean, is that
One
true?
thing, though.
Better.
Hey, one, if you only use ChatGPT and Claude to improve your prompt, you're wrong. You need to use a third. And I would highly recommend Perplexity. Perplexity is probably the best research-orientated. I hate using the word AI because they're not AIs, LLM, large language model, out there. That said, yes, even I will write a prompt, and then I will put it through all 3 different ones to see if there's anything that I'm missing or anything it thinks would add. Doesn't mean I'll add it. I read what it says and decide if I want it or not. Because sometimes the people need to understand that LLMs have, on average, a 40% hallucination and error rate, unless you write your prompts very specifically. So you got to understand, not everything they say is accurate. It cost Accenture $500 million, so they learned the hard way. So yes, you can use. I created a QA prompt to QA my prompts, but the system I use doesn't really. It's not needed, but I do it anyway. I have prompts I created using my system. I put QA, and they
I'm
said
in charge of this show,
bad.
not you. Okay, get that through your head. Okay. Look,
Are you talking to Tommy, Ernie, or me?
I didn't
I'm
say
talking
a
to you
word.
now because you're trying to
Yeah, but he's been
dominate.
picking on you
Hey,
all day.
Dean,
dude.
what do you think of Prompt Cowboy? That's the one I run it because I have typing mine, so I run all the large language models, like 30 different ones. But I always run it through Prompt Cowboy too, and then I put it back through and ask Gemini, Chat, and Claude, how good is this prompt compared to the one they wrote?
I like it. I don't use it much, to be honest with you. There's actually a site out there, a tool, whatever word you want me to use, called, and I'm looking for it right now, AI Prompt Optimizer, which is it's called Prompt Tester, whatever the hell that is, and it actually QAs your prompts. But again, it's using LLMs to QA your prompt. So read what it says.
What's it called? Prompt what? AI prompt what?
The site's called promptessor.com. And you put in your prompt, it'll go through it, it'll grade it. If you get over 70%, don't just don't even worry about, because what I've learned with Prompt Tester through a lot of analysis, it does a good job, but it tends to try to make it. It tends to add things that it thinks you want rather than actually paying attention to what you're actually doing.
But Dean,
Um,
your instructions in the book tell us how to avoid that. You tell
Yes,
the AI, don't assume these things. You say just work with the data that I'm giving you. For instance, you tell it to do
So-
that.
yes, I do. So, and that's why my hallucination and error rate on my prompts is 8%, and usually it's something small like a period or punctuation or something stupid, and it's because I make it very clear. Only use verifiable industry sources. Ensure that all information provided has been tested against 2 verifiable sources. Stuff like that can mitigate what the LLM wants to do just by telling it, make sure it's this, make sure it's this. If you can't, just say unable to verify. You can still give me the info, but say it's unable to verify, so I know it's not verifiable. So for all I know, you decided to make it up. And believe me, the LLMs will make crap up if you do not make it clear to them not to. They will. I've had to do it many, many, many times to me when I write simple prompts. I mean, I asked it what was the score of the Seahawk game last week, and this was a couple weeks ago, and it gave me the score of a team in Europe called the Seahawks. And I'm like, okay, let me try this again. Give me the scores of the NFL Seattle Seahawks game last week. Then it gave me one. Why? Because I made it clear there's only one Seattle Seahawks team. I made it dummy proof. You have to think about these LLMs like children. If you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. If you make it specific, boom, 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 there's no mile to take.
Okay, well, let me. Oh, wait a second, Ernie.
Hey,
okay,
one at a
Ernie,
time.
Go ahead.
It's
Ernie, go ahead.
Ernie will kick your butt. So
when you do this prompt, do you put that specifier that you've given in every prompt that you do, or is it generally understood?
it depends. Well, hey, I do not give the LLM an inch. I put it in every prompt where I want it in every prompt. There are some prompts I don't mind it doing it because like if I'm saying find me movies about lichens, that I would say it like that. I'd be more specific, but I'm just saying I don't care if it makes crap up because frankly, I'm probably just goofing around anyway. Lichens are werewolves, by the way, and so I don't really care.
What are you talking about werewolves for on this show? On his book, he says
because frankly, your hat makes you look like a werewolf, dude.
Yeah, so what? In his book, he says put it in every prompt. Okay, you can say I read the book. Okay, give me some credit.
I know.
Okay.
All 293 of the prompts that I created and I use have that statement in there.
Okay, so but let's finish off with an issue. Tom raised a good issue. Okay, well, these prompts.
297.
Okay, I said, look, I said you can actually ask AI tools to improve your prompts. Dean said yes.
Yeah.
Then Tom said, what about these specific AI prompt checking tools? Now, Dean keeps referring to QA. Not everybody's going to know that's quality assurance. Okay, so Tom mentioned Prompt Cowboy. What about Prompt Genie? There's one called Prompt Genie or something, right?
Nope, you don't use it.
Okay, but you like one of them. What was the one you said that you liked?
Prompt Tester.
Prompt Tester. I'm on it right now. It looks pretty good.
Okay. So, Tom and you guys, you raised another issue. Not all AI tools are the same. You didn't talk about that in your book, but in the background research I did for this show, they specify 4 different kinds of AI tools. There's ChatGPT.
Actually in the book, I do too.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You missed it.
Well, then let me ask the
You're
question.
Fired.
Yeah, okay. Let me ask the question. They said there's tools like ChatGPT and Claude, like they're for generalists. Okay, that's general information. Then there's research engines that are separate. Then there's also tools for specialists. Okay, now so let's talk. And then there's workflow automators. Okay, but so let's talk about this specialist stuff. Are there special AI tools for recruiters? And here, sorry, I'm going to blab a bit. somebody talked about context. It depends on how much that tool knows about recruiting, so it can draw on that. If I just go into ChatGPT and Dean has at least 3 books that I remember, okay, and you feed all of Dean's books and maybe videos into that stuff, could then I go and ask questions from a generalist tool and have Dean be my coach? Could I turn
You're
the tool?
basically talking about creating an agent, and I don't like agents. So let me explain to you what an agent is. An agent, and I'm going to make it super, super, super simple. Imagine you have a folder with everything you know about recruiting in there. That LLM will only reference the material in that folder to answer your questions. That's all it'll do. The reason I don't like it is because, one, it's extremely hard to update. And if you're not updating your prompts on a semi-regular basis, you're wrong. You got a problem. And it's really hard to update, whereas a normal prompt is not. As long as you specify and are specific enough in your prompt, you can. I have a prompt that will actually answer a question like it was me, in my language, in my way of talking, in my way of thinking, everything. So what do I need an agent for when they are so hard to update, when I can just update my prompts?
Yeah, but
I
how
can
can it
literally
access?
just say,
How can it access
hang
your
on.
knowledge? How can it
I'm
access
about to
your
explain it
knowledge?
to you. First of all, you need to make sure the LLM has access to the internet. Not all of them do. Second, as a recruiting professional who has read Dean DeCassa's book, blah, 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 please create a Boolean string that will find a job developer. What it will do is go out, read the books, because they're out there available, and then come back and answer the question using those books only as its knowledge base. There's a way to do it without. If you don't want to do it that way, you can upload the book and tell it to reference the attachments and answer this question. You don't need a freaking agent that you're going to have to update constantly, and it's a pain to update, or especially not an AI app, because they're even worse to update. And in my book, I specify, I don't say agents are bad. There's some reasons to have an agent, mainly if you're dealing with static information. But for anything
Okay,
where
enough.
you've got to
Dina,
worry
remember? Okay, hold on. Okay, he's going. He doesn't like agents. That's not how I would describe an
really.
agent.
Do you
An
like
agent-
GPTs?
Okay, too many people talking at once. Yes,
Good.
yes, Tommy.
Do you like GPTs?
You mean like ChatGPT, or are you talking about other chat?
I'm talking about I'm talking about like inside of ChatGPT, you can build a GPT and you're calling it an agent. I'm making sure it's the same. Because what I like about the agent is I can put all my knowledge base in there, stuff that's not on the internet.
Right. Yeah, I know what those are. I actually have a couple. I like them to a point. Again, it depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. If I am dealing with something that doesn't change a whole lot, like whatever my focus is, it's something, okay, this hasn't changed in 10,000 years, it's not going to change now. Yes, they're fine. But if I'm dealing with something that I know is going to constantly change, constantly morph, constantly grow, I don't like them, because when they're inside what you're calling, I forget what ChatGPT calls them, projects.
They call them
or whatever.
GPTs. Gemini calls them gems.
Yeah, and then there's others
agents.
call them agents, and then Perplexity calls them projects. Perplexity calls them projects, whatever. Then I don't like them, because then that's where you have to continually update it and add information to keep it up to date when it's easier not to. Now, if you can find a way to make it say, okay, here's all this information, also access the internet and do that, that's great, but not all of them can access the internet.
I have
And
one
so
I can keep adding to the knowledge base. I can just keep adding document after document. And if I want, I can have it access the internet.
Right. But why go through all that trouble when you don't
More
need
because this is like all my rebuttals, for example. Every rebuttal I've ever developed, I can put into one spot, and it's not stuff you're going to find on the internet, stuff that's to me. So I could show other recruiters like, hey, if you have someone says, send me a resume, or your fee's too high or whatever, you can access my entire brain in this agent is kind of how I was looking at it. And that's why I was asking you, like, because you have a lot of knowledge.
I want to say to that about your brain now.
Okay, hold on a second.
But again, in that case, you're talking about a
Going
very
off the rails for me. Okay.
in that
I'm
case, you're
charge.
talking about a very animal. Chill out. In this case, you're talking about a very specific thing that, truth be told, doesn't really have to access the internet that much, because it's your information, and that's where an agent. It's static, basically. That's where an agent is good. But when you're going to have to keep the information updated on a regular basis and go and access the internet, they're not, because they're really tough to do that. It's a pain in the world.
And you make a very great point, and I never thought of it. I'm glad that you answered it that way, because I was always thinking like, oh, I build a lot of agents, but then when you realize if it is, and as you said, information that's constantly changing and updating, yeah, that's going to be a problem unless, as you said, you can have it.
Now here's the secret. Here's the secret. In the POS system from my book, it talks about KISS, talks about POS.
Yeah,
human,
let's get to let me lead that conversation, okay?
You would prefer Kindle or hard copy? I'm about to buy your book. Did I get the Kindle or hard copy?
Finish off, Dean.
Truthfully, I get the hard copy. That's just me. In the book, the POS system.
No. Let me. I want to go through the KISS and the POS, but 1 second.
Keep it simple, stupid.
I asked you a second
I'm married, so don't kiss.
Okay. I asked you a second ago. Okay. Well, can I feed up all, put in all of Dean's books and then use him as my coach? Oh no, that's an agent. And you just told Tom, yeah, you can put my book up there. Okay.
No.
Yourself.
No, I did not. Two different things. Can you put it in there and always access it from there is an agent. If you put it in there and for that specific question, access me, that's not an agent.
I mean, I'd have to put your book in every time. It's not going to stay in my database, AI database.
No, nor would you want it to do it, because what happens if I do an update to my book and add stuff? Then what are you going to do? You're going to have to buy it and upload it.
You're not going to. Okay, but that's
well, actually, I am. Actually, I am. This book's going to have an update in about 6 months because I've already got some things I want to add.
Yeah, you're going to have to. The way AI is expanding, you're going to have to.
I know, and in there lies the crux of the issue. So you don't want to do that. What you would prefer to do is, like I said, go ahead and add the book. Each time it takes 10 seconds to add 3 books to a thread in ChatGPT. It is not hard. It is quicker to add it to the thread than it is to add it to an agent. Much quicker. So you do that and you just say, and here's the good part. If you maintain that thread, you won't have to upload it every single solitary time because it's already in the thread and the thread will maintain it. It's not an agent.
I'm getting lost.
Well, then you didn't really read the whole entire book, to be honest with you, because it's in the book.
That's not in it. Okay, that's not in the book. But let me, Dean, I feel like I'm letting you down.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have Tom Cruise. No, I can't. He's too short.
I'm letting Dean down because it's just so confused, this discussion. Okay, let me start again. Dean,
let me tell you why it's confusing, because Tommy and I kind of know this stuff pretty well, and we're kind of geeking out slightly, and you are more of a neophyte.
Okay, no. If I can get through the basics in 10 minutes, then we can spend 5 minutes talking about some fringe issue, or 10 minutes. Okay. So, hi everybody, Recruiting Animal here with Dean DaCosta. He wrote a book. Okay, it's got a long title. It's available for $10 Canadian, which is a great price, and it's a good entryway into AI for recruiters. That's how I found that's what I found. And I haven't read it 5 times like he wants me to. Okay, I only read it once. Okay, but there's 2 essential items on it, and these will set you up to further study AI on your own with ease. He's got 2, I don't know if you call them formats. One is called KISS, like in Keep It Simple Stupid, and the other is like POS, like piece of shit stupid. Okay, POSS. That's how you remind. If you have odd names, people will remember it. So you got POS and you got KISS, and those are the 2 prompt formats that you use to ask recruiting questions. And recruiting and these can do all kinds of things for you. The most interesting to me was creating Boolean strings and doing your sourcing. But we'll get to that. First, in general, Dean, can you tell us what KISS is and what POS is?
Okay, they're called frameworks. There are hundreds of frameworks for creating prompts out there, and I find that they all suck. So I created my own. KISS is Keep It Simple System, not stupid, but system. And it's designed around creating a prompt in the simplest, quickest, and easiest manner that will do what you want it to do. Period. Done. It is usually a single ask prompt. You're not asking, find me the salary range and locations, and no, it's a single ask prompt. And it's simple and easy to do.
Okay, and the
POS
Okay.
It stands for, oh, Sarah's here. POS stands for Prompt Outline Stacking System. And it's a way where you can put together single ask prompts that are related into one prompt and get everything you need in one place. That's the difference between them. One feeds into the other. Example, you write a KISS prompt to get salary range. Then you have to add a KISS prompt for locations where these people are. Then another prompt to ask for alternate titles and so on and so forth. You could take those prompts and put them in an outline format, 1, 2, 3, and make it a POS prompt that will answer everything at once. Instead of
So
having to ask.
KISS-
And could you, in doing that, could it then produce, say you wanted to send out a submittal, and you have your questions, you have your resume, you have all that, and you've asked whether or not they qualified, and then it writes a submittal at the end? Is that what you're getting at? Or
You could. It would be easy to do, but in your case, what you're talking about submittal. So in your case, it would be acting as a recruiter or sources. I don't know in which category. Analyze the attached resume against the job description, break it down into its core components, grading it on a scale of 1 to 10. Anybody who scores a 7 or higher, create a submittal document. Create a submittal document. Your outline would be 1, resume, boom, boom, boom. 2, job description, boom, boom, boom. 3, grading, where you'll have to specify 1 is bad, 9 is good, or 10 or whatever, because if you don't, it'll think for itself, which
You
is
see,
really
I'm
not.
a
You don't
beginner,
want
and I
the
know that
LLM
this is
thinking.
gibberish. Okay, nobody knows.
No,
what
it's
he's
not
talking
gibberish.
about.
Let him finish. Let him
No,
finish.
he's
You know, it's
and-
interesting for someone who
listen.
read the book to say it's gibberish is kind of
No,
interesting.
for people who haven't read the book. Okay, you're jumping ahead. You
Dean,
gave
dumb it down for a second. Can you give them a simple example of a POS framework
thank you,
prompt?
thank you,
for,
Tommy. Yeah,
You see,
start
but
off
doing
with
a-
a simple example of a kiss.
No,
Or
no,
what-
no.
Actually, what Ernie said.
I think if I may,
Hold on,
a
Ernie.
lot of recruiters that listen to this show would understand. They're not people who don't understand this shit aren't listening to your show.
They don't
Because-
listen. Nobody listens to the show.
But,
Okay.
but wait, that's why I want him to answer my question, because I listened to your show, and I wanted to know if he could do it, and he explained that it can be done, and that was the issue that I wanted.
Yeah, but if he
Okay,
first
I will
tells you-
dummy
if
it.
he
I
tells you
will
what-
dummy
No,
it.
no, no.
Stop.
Listen to me. Listen
I'm
to
gonna
my
dummy it down
conception,
for you.
and I'll butt out. Okay, I just want to tell you what I wanted. His book is built around this kiss and the POS. Okay, so I thought he'd explain what a kiss is, give an example, explain what a POS is, give an example. Then we'd ask him for our questions about how to use those things for creating sourcing prompts or how to submit, evaluate resumes or whatever. So in the short time remaining, can you give us that a dummy, okay, want to say like me, would understand what a kiss is and a prompt is and give examples about it, okay?
Okay, you promised to butt out after this. Go ahead.
I'll butt out. Yes, I will. I'll give him a chance and I'll butt out.
Simple.
Go ahead. Nobody's interested in what I'm interested in. I understand that now after a half hour. Go ahead.
As a recruiter, analyze the attached resume and job description and provide a score of the resume as it relates to the job description. Underneath, you put 1 is good, is bad, 9 is good, or 10, whatever system you're using. That's all you need. That's not the best KISS prompt, but is the simplest KISS prompt. For the best KISS prompt, you want to specify what it should be doing against tech skills, blah, blah, blah. But for a simple prompt, that would do it. And what it would spit out is basically something to the effect of the resume grades a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10 against the JD. That's not how I wrote my prompt. That does that, by the way. But that's the simplest one. It's also not the best one, but it's simplest. On a 1 to 10 scale, it's probably a 3. The one that I use is a 9. But I like I like providing. I don't like allowing the LLM to think. I want it to do what I want within the parameters and guidelines I want. Because if you let it think like a 2-year-old, it will inevitably do something totally different than what you told it to do. Everybody been around 2-year-olds, you tell them to do something, what do they do? Usually something totally different.
Okay, but Ernie
That's
and
an LLM.
Tom were asking about POS style, the longer.
I'm gonna get.
stack-
I'm
No,
gonna
I-
get
but,
to that.
before I
You said you
forget,
weren't going to interrupt.
wait a second. In his
Said you
book,
were
he
going to
keep-
interrupt. Hey,
let me ask
calm
this
down.
question, and it's important. In his book, he keeps
Can we put a
saying
shock collar on him?
these books.
Be
In
quiet.
his book, he keeps saying if you have a long prompt, the AI is going to forget. They can't keep that much in mind. It doesn't have much RAM. Okay.
No,
And-
that's if you read the book, it says if you have a long, unorganized prompt.
Oh,
There's a
okay. There you go. Okay.
There's a difference between an unorganized prompt and an organized prompt. If you create an outline where you say, this is the information I want: 1, personal; 2, professional; 3, education; 4, awards, and keep going down. That's organized. It's simple. There's no forgetting. It's telling, you're basically saying, do this, then this, then this, then this. Organized. If you just say, just find me all the information about Dean DaCosta awards, this, and that's unorganized. It doesn't know where to start. It doesn't know what to start with. It doesn't know how you want the information brought back to you. And it will, if not forget, it'll just make crap up. Can I say crap? Yeah, I guess I can. Make stuff up. That's the difference between our, that's why the POS framework works so well, because it is organized. And then if you want to add something to it, you're like, oh, I want to add, what's the name of their spouse? Well, that's simple. It goes in personal. I want to add, what's the first job they had when they were a teenager? Well, that goes under professional. I mean, it's easy to add to it because it's organized, and it doesn't allow the LM to think. It basically I'm telling it what to do, not asking it. There's a difference between a tell and an ask. Everybody says, what's your persona and what's your ask? If you do that, you have a chance of the LLM not giving you what you want. If you tell it, then you have the capability to do it. You could still say, as this, please provide this information, but down here you say, look here, put it in this format, do that. You're now telling it. You're asking for this, but telling it how you want it and what to do. You have to tell it at some point within your prompt, or you're risking hallucinations and error rate, which, as we know, is 40% for most of them.
Okay,
That's
so now,
the difference.
okay, you guys can add to Ernie and Sasha and
Oh,
Tom.
we
Go ahead.
also
You
have
ask
Sasha
the
and
questions now.
Morella.
Her sister.
that how you
That's her
pronounce it?
sister. They're in Serbia. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Hi.
okay, it is Morella. Hi. Okay,
Hi,
I just want to make sure.
And-
I just want to make sure I pronounce them right because it's rude not to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
You
that is
Tommy
correct.
and Ernie had questions that I unfortunately interrupted. You go ahead now. Go ahead.
By all means.
You know what we're talking about, Sasha, right now?
AI integration.
Yeah,
and
we're talking about
prompts.
using prompts and using ChatGPT and
My question was actually
Perplexity and all
related.
the rest.
Why don't we
Yeah.
go back to where we
Actually
started?
wanted to
Tom ran.
clarify- Oh
Tom
my
ran a
God.
sourcing prompt.
Recruiting
I thought
animals.
recruiting animals said he was going to be quiet now.
Okay.
Yeah, he loves interrupting people.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this
After
simple.
100 years, and he doesn't even he cannot give me like the.
Sasha, you have the floor.
Talk,
Everybody else
thank
be
you.
quiet.
So
You're
is
going to
this
make me go military on you.
is this only for ChatGPT or other AI tools
Nope.
as well?
You can use it. Most of what I do with my prompts are done in Perplexity or DeepSeek because they're the two best research-oriented LLMs out there. I don't like calling them AIs because it's not really AI, but they like AI. It's sexier than what they should be calling it. But yeah, so part of the system, when you get the whole entire process, is having a prompt library. See, here's the biggest mistake people make. They write a prompt, it works, and then they don't save it, and they have to rewrite it. I save all my prompts in a prompt library that I created that allows me to put in all the human input in the library, push a button, open the LLM, and run it without me having to dilly-dally and BS around. Have you ever tried to put in the human inputs in the LLM with that small little screen? Even though you can make it bigger, it's still okay. Where's the input? Well, all
think
my
you're
prompts
probably, when you're telling people the human inputs, you're probably going to have to expand on that or screen share because I think a lot of people
I'm
are
actually going to screen. I was actually going to screen share, to be honest with you, because I think this would be the use. Okay, you should be seeing what's called the Enhanced AI Prompt Manager Pro. That is a Chrome extension I created. So let's find a prompt that would require a human. Here you go. This is a prompt I created to do an investigation on some type of a project going on out there. The reason why I say some kinds is because I haven't told it what kind of project yet. And that's the human input.
This is interesting. You built this. This is really nice, Dean. Wow.
So did you do that? Is it available for us or just you? I mean, I'm talking about just
The
not
Chrome
prompt,
extension. Is the Chrome extension available, Dean?
that we could create our own
Dean's frozen.
librarian. I think Dean doesn't want to talk now.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
he's
on
a-
purpose.
He already told you he's
So if
got
I
the
were to put
nines.
in,
All the nines are for him alone. Okay.
sorry about that. I don't know why that happened. Let me try this again. Let's do entire window. That might be better. And this is the window we want to go in, so that might work better. All right, let's see if it works correctly.
Do you have that
Yes,
Chrome extension available in the Chrome store?
No,
Okay.
no. This Chrome extension is not available anywhere, and this Chrome extension will not be available anywhere, because if I'm going to make it available anywhere, considering I've been offered 6 figures for it, I ain't sharing it yet. When I retire, maybe. But it's just a simple thing. Here's your favorites. You can install prompts, export. You can do whatever you want. And rate above. Here you go. Rate above executive summary. You can paste or attach the job description. You can paste or attach summary. You can insert jobs. You can do whatever you need to do. Push a button, which in this case is going to open Perplexity. And there's the prompt, and I just run it. I usually look it over because every once in a while these LLMs can be stupid and not get rid of the prompt I ran before. So I tend to do that.
That is really, this Chrome extension you built is just fantastic, Dean. I save all my prompts too, but this is just fantastic.
So
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I saved my prompts to Excel, and I put them in there.
Yeah.
Done
Yeah.
that.
I have 297 prompts, but if you look at my favorites, there's nowhere near 297. I have different versions for some of the prompts that do the same thing based on certain. This is actually, you ready for this? A prompt that will create the beginning of a POS prompt. Only the beginning. You're going to have to fill in more data. It'll give you a basic skeleton outline to make it easier for you to start rather than starting from zero. That took me forever. Now, just to make a point of note, I do want to show you guys something. You were talking about the sourcing prompt earlier. So let me show you what my version of that sourcing prompt actually does for you. Hang on a minute. Let me enlarge this because I hate not being able to see everybody. All right. So this is what the results from my version, the 9. We're going to do this very quickly. It gives you this is for a staff state estimator engineer for Shield AI. It gives you the executive summary, quick, bluff, bottom line up front type of thing. It gives you a complete role analysis. It gives you the KPIs. It gives you how it impacts the business. It gives you salary ranges based on location. It gives you total compensation these people totally get. It gives you a competitor benchmark. It gives you compensation trends and insights, competitive market landscape, basically competitors, job trends, more or less, whatever, geographical insights, California, Washington, wherever they are, alternative job titles, target companies by category, talent intelligence, role intelligence, how many people are there to do it, education credentials. We're going to skip through this really quick now. Professional networking events, conferences and stuff, including a list of the conferences, when they are, where they are, when the next one is, including when the career fairs are at the colleges that you want to target, sourcing opportunities, social media channels that you might want to keep your eyes on, including hashtags, everybody's hashtag, the top influencers you want to follow. If you follow them, odds are a good percentage of people following them are people you want. Me personally, for this one, I would follow him, given the Shield AI, and grab everybody, but that's me. This is your level 1 Boolean things, meaning they're not intricate, they're really super basic. Geographical breakdowns, more by key university town, key employers, estimating pools, working models, how they like to work, demographic insights, male, female, Asian, Hispanic, not enough Hispanic, I'm Hispanic, so age distribution, D&I data benchmarks, skill intelligence, breakdown of the different skills, navigation, whatever. I'm going through this super fast. Candidate motivation and psychographics. What motivates these people? What's important to them? Career aspirations. What they want to be when they grow up. That's what I call it. Psychographic profiles, archetypes. In this case, the ambition innovator. All this is important when you start talking pain points and preferences. Things that they view as pain points within the industry companies. Decision-making factors. If you're going to make an offer, these are the things that they're going to consider are most important. In this case, total comp is number 1. Red flags, things that that the candidates don't like. They don't like being told you get to wear many hats because to them it means you're disorganized. Messaging and positioning for this particular company. Diversity and inclusion, but a further breakdown based on STEM, U.S. population, and everything. Best practice sorting strategy, where to find these people. Benchmark DEI stuff. Employer and social listening. What is being said about your company? and stuff like that. Unique value proposition that your company holds. A recommendation employee brand enhancement, 6, 12, and longer company employer brand plan to make you more desirable by candidates. Validation, iteration methods to validate people. Not done. An iterative improvement process, how you can improve the process. Here's your metrics, time to fill, time to hire, everything you want to know. Security clearances, all that good stuff. Industry challenges, what they see as challenges on there. Unique outreach selling points for your company. Risk mitigation. If this was Boeing, it would say all our planes keep crashing. In this case, my son works for Boeing, so I make fun of it a lot. Anyway, here is your level 9 Boolean strings. And keep in mind, right now, even though this says LinkedIn, truthfully, you could use it. You could put site colon anything and it would work, all of them. You'll notice that they have many different LinkedIn ones. They have GitHub ones based on what this job is, Google X-raying, Twitter, Reddit. And like I said, these could be used on, most of these can be used on almost anything. Your platform sourcing strategies. And the thing that I'm most proud of, 2 things. One is messaging. You get 7 different outreaches based on the type of candidate you find. And then the thing that it took me forever to find and create. It will create you a prompt to find these people. That's what the 9 that I have would do compared to the one that you saw, Tommy.
So,
And that freaks most people out when I show it to them or give it to them. I've run it for some people where I work and I give it to them. They're like, oh my God, what the hell? I'm ready. I don't need to do anything. It's all right there.
when you do this, what do you use ChatGPT? Do you use Perplexity? What do you use?
Okay, so look here, we're gonna play a game. You look at these. What's different with 3 of them, and why do you think they're different?
What's different with the 3 of them?
Well, 3 are big.
Yeah.
He runs ChatGPT, Perplexity, and DeepSeek. Perplexity and DeepSeek are good in research. I would argue that Gemini 2.5 DeepSeek is also, or Deep Research is also very good. And Claude is great for writing.
I've done the analysis and comparison. I like
really
DeepSeek. Perplexity is still better.
Are you talking about DeepSeek, the Chinese one?
No, actually, they're out of California. You're
the
thinking
Chinese
there's
one.
another DeepSeek, but it's 2 words. This is 1 word.
Okay. Because I run.
In addition,
I like Claude
I-
for writing. And
Yeah.
I
In
like
addition, I have
Perplexity and Gemini for research.
Right. In addition, I have running Galaxy AI, and I'm going to show you why I like running it in Galaxy AI. Right now, it's set up.
Galaxy. Yeah, Galaxy's OpenAI, right?
Galaxy can run it in any of these.
Oh, it can
chat-
run all
any
of them.
these.
Okay. It's
Right.
like Open
that-
Router.
basically, yeah. And the other one I like a lot that I'm using lately is LM Arena. 1, it's free. Arena AI. And 2, you can actually run the prompt in side by side in 2 different LLMs to see the results, see which is better.
Dude, do you know what Typing Mind is?
Yes.
You can run the prompt in 17 large language models if you want. I love that.
I know of it. I've used it once, but there comes a point where it's a law of diminishing returns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been doing this long enough. I know that, like, if I was to use LM Arena for one of these types of prompts I would run Perplexity and DeepSeek and see which gets me better results. I don't need to have 18 million more of them. I already have done the analysis. Once a quarter, I analyze all these different LLMs and figure out which one's best for the things I like to do. And just so you guys know, and I'm going to show you this real quick. I don't know why I have 2 open. Let me open this real quick.
Do you
And show
run
you guys something.
like do you change your heat and your you change the parameters of the large language model when you use it?
Yes, sometimes.
Okay.
Not always. It depends. So I right now have a Chrome extension I created. I create a lot of my own Chrome extensions because Google and Chrome pissed me off. And I'll explain in a minute. There's 20,214 different LLMs in here that do different things. It's broken down by category.
20,000? Jesus.
And I'm not up to speed. I haven't run a new analysis in about a month for new tools, but they come into all these different categories: music, education, gaming. They're all designed differently. So I'm pretty familiar with most LLMs.
Dude, that's insane.
Well, there's a lot of copycat LLMs. Basically, it's an LLM that somebody that's
Built
being
on
used
top of another one.
Yeah. So there's a lot of copycats, but still they're designed. The reason why they're a copycat is they're using ChatGPT, but it's only designed for music. They're using,
Okay. Yeah.
So, but still 20,000. And just to give it even worse for y'all, I've also collected, these are not my prompts, don't even think it. Prompt collection of over 12,000 prompts.
I do the
For
same
varying
thing. I have a ton of prompts that I find and I save as well.
I never use them because all I use is this. And just so you understand, this Chrome extension originally, just give me a minute to do Prompt Genius, Prompt Library.
What did you use
AI.
to build it? Did you use something like Manus?
No, I'm a coder. I have
Okay.
a science degree. So the first thing I did was create it. I write it myself, and then I use the LLMs to act as my quality assurance people, make sure. And I usually do most of it in Visual Studio Code because I have access to every coding language there is, and they have QA, they have AI, they have everything I need. So I usually do it in that, and then I just run it. Let me see. That's the Enhanced AI Prompt Manager. So we want the regular Prompt Manager, AI Prompt Manager Pro. So this is what that one that I use now started as this. The difference being you can't automatically open the LLM and all that stuff.
Yeah, I love
It
that.
can-
that you can open it.
And
to
it doesn't
LLM.
and it doesn't have the user input capability. You pretty much have to copy it, put it into either the LLM and look for the user inputs and put in the info, or put it in a text editor and put in the inputs and then run it. And I thought, wow, I'm wasting 10 seconds every time I want to run a prompt. It's time to make it better. So I made it. This, I actually, if you buy the book and show me that you bought it, I actually give this to access to this for you because that's
I'll show you
fine.
my receipt
There
right
are
now.
Chrome extensions built for this, by the way. One of them is AI Prompt Genius right here, but as you can see, it's not quite at the level of what I'm doing. So I just
Yeah.
The reason why I create my own Chrome extensions now is because Chrome, in its infinite wisdom, created a Chrome extension to open its Chrome store. They then took it down because it violated their security. Now think about it. They created it and then I found out that companies can pay Google money and they'll make sure certain Chrome extensions aren't in the Chrome store. And so I said, fine, I create my own. So most of the extensions you see up here are mine. I created that one for the Chrome store, this one for the prompts. I have this one to access sourcing links, the tool I created. I have this one for text editors. This one is for the AI stuff that I like the most. As you can see, it's broken down by category. This is to allow me quick access to different search engines. This one is the one I use to manage my extensions. It lets me open the extension page.
Sasha, you get yourself done?
I'm sorry if I didn't respond. I lost my audio. I apologize.
Yeah,
you-
same
One is Boolean Builder that I created. This one here is an email permutator to allow me to find somebody's email address. This one here is a recruiting tool manager. You'll notice there's thousands of recruiting tools, but only 139 made my list. And I don't even use them, to be honest with you. This is the training manager. It's just where I put training. I have hundreds of courses I'm taking. What's this one here? This one is for is one I created to help job hunters because I put out that thing on LinkedIn. I'm willing to help you find jobs. Basically, what I do is I bring them in, teach them how to use this, teach them how to use the prompts to make their resume better, their LinkedIn profile better, how to apply to jobs, how to get ready. So far, about 65% of people that have used this have found jobs. The others I don't know. I only know the ones that get with me. And then this is just miscellaneous tool, a quick way to get to miscellaneous tools I use a lot. That's all it is. And then I have some others in here that I don't have active all the time because I don't need them all the time. I have about, I don't even know, 26 Chrome extensions. It says it right there. So I have 26 Chrome extensions I've created that I'm using actively. And a lot of them got created using a combination of my coding skills and then different AIs to help make sure it's right and better. Sometimes the AI annoys the crap out of me and I have to treat it like a 4-year-old. Okay, you're wrong. You're stupid. Stop. This is what I want. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I get it. The same thing I said 5 seconds ago.
Sasha Mirelia, I tell you, if you don't know Dean is like the guru of what we do. So if you have any questions right now, hop on it, talk to him, tell him, ask anything. Nothing's too basic.
Well, I wouldn't know where to start. I'm shocked, I thought that I was a pro by using like ChatGPT, and that was like the basics of everything that is being offered on the market. And, I mean, but definitely I'm gonna research it. Dean, you have a book. You published a book recently, if I understood correctly. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna dive in deeper into your book
Sa-
work.
Sasha, on my LinkedIn profile is my email. If you want it, that's the first book I ever created.
Mhm.
I have 3 actually. If you want, go on my LinkedIn, get my email, and email me, and I'll send you my calendar link. And if you want to get on a private call and talk, and
Sure.
I do it for anybody that wants to talk and wants help. I'm willing to take time to help them.
Thank
Like
you.
I said, I put a post on LinkedIn about a month ago. If you need help finding a job and or just want to learn something new, or you need help with a particular opening or whatever, get on my calendar and I'll help you. And up until this week, I had no time on my calendar. Now I do. People stopped. I guess New Year, they don't want to talk. That's fine.
Is it
I do have
simple to say that the KISS prompt is what we all learned in the very beginning? Hey, write an email to my client about blah, 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 and make it sound professional. And then the POS prompts are going above and beyond that for in layman's terms.
In layman's terms, yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
And by the way, you don't want to write an email to a candidate in a professional manner. You want to write it in a personable manner.
I know. I'm just giving, like, I was just using an example of
Oh,
what
sorry.
we learned early on.
Yeah,
you know,
you could think about it that way. Another way to think about it is you wrote the prompt to write the email. Then you wrote another prompt to take that email and reference to JD, some information from JD in it. Then you wrote another to make sure that the email is put in your talking constructs. Now imagine instead of creating, you took all of them together into one prompt. And it's 1, 2, 3, or A, B, C. That's the difference in the two.
So when I write a prompt, sometimes it comes out one way and I say, love it. Sometimes I'll ask it a second time and it comes out different. And it doesn't come out exactly the way
what
the
do you
first
mean?
one.
Like, are you asking the large language model to write the prompt for you?
Yeah, in chat. Well,
Okay.
chat, I'll write a prompt, I'll get a prompt, I'll write it. And then I'll put it into, say, Chat GPT. It gives me an answer that I really like. I like the format it comes out. Then I'll run it a second time with different, say, a resume or different this, and it comes out different. Why?
If I had to hazard a guess, the reason it came out then is because you did qualify your parameters enough.
Okay.
You allowed it to think. Remember what the first thing I told you about it? Don't let it think.
It's a 3-year-old. It's a 3-year-old.
Exactly. You make it specific. So let me show you that results I just gave you about the sourcing strategy. This is the prompt. No copying and screen sharing or screen capture. First thing you should know this. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get the hint. It's a simple outline. I could just as easily, and did, by the way, this could be one prompt. This could be another prompt, but then I have to take all the results, put it together in an organized manner that makes sense. This way, I don't have to. I don't even have to tell it how to bring it down. I don't even have to tell it what the output should look like because it's already right there in front of me.
So when you do that, does it come out entirely printed
Just
out,
like I showed.
or does
That
it come
whole
out?
Everyone,
Word
everyone.
document.
Okay,
Or
so
just-
every once in a while, it will run the prompt and say, okay, here's the bluff, bottom line up front, and here's the whole entire results. So you don't see the whole results here, but you can download the entire results.
Yeah,
So, and the reason it does that is depending on when you do it. Keep in mind, if you run prompts at optimal time, meaning when everybody's out there using it, it's going to be slower and not want to do everything it's supposed to do. So you got to keep in mind, for me, 3 p.m. my time, it starts slowing down. And that's because everybody's home from work using the damn stupid thing. Because most companies have their own, so they're not using it. So I know if I want to get work done, I need to try to do it before 3 p.m. as much as possible. And that's fine with me because frankly, when it's 3 p.m. my time, my mind is thinking it's Miller time, not work time. So that's perfectly fine. So if I told you earlier, I'm going to stop sharing right now. If you give it an inch, it's going to take a mile. Simple. If you don't specify it to where it is so simple, a caveman can follow it, boom, 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 it will take liberties. We'll use that word, liberty, and you will not get the right results all the time. Every once in a while, it does it to me. And the first thing I do is say, okay, let's look at my prompt. There's my mistake. I gave it an opening to think. I correct it, and I'm to run it again, and it's fine. I don't have them very often, but it does happen every once in a while. It's usually with a prompt that I quickly did, not a prompt I've created and run through all the QA and done all that. It's usually something I just create off the fly. Like when I asked it for the Seahawks game results, it got back the wrong team, and I'm like, okay, that's not its fault. That's my fault because I didn't specify. I allowed it to think. That all makes sense?
Yes, it does. I mean, that a lot of that clarified a lot of the problems I was having in terms of going different directions. But and I like the fact that you laid it out to 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, step 1, step 2.
Mirella, you're right. You look confused.
No, I'm just I don't know how to express myself. I agree with Sasha. I can tell you all, you guys, that we are living in a hole, that we are only knowing about ChatGPT and nothing else. But we now know that we have too many AI tools to use for a business and job, of course, and for everything else. Am I correct?
That's the reason why you join these groups, because these guys, I mean, all Tom and Rich and Animal and Dean, they're the kind of guys that you just learn, and you can learn very quickly, and you can learn what's needed. And plus, they become your friends. And you can call them, and they'll answer your questions.
This is great. This is awesome. Thank you all.
Yeah, but Mirella is a bit shy in comparison with me. Yeah,
We both are.
Hey, I have a question. What? This is the longest Animal's ever been quiet in all the years.
Yeah,
I've
really.
known him.
and the first
I'm really kind of don't
guessing his mic
break the train.
sunglasses.
I'm like, wow. I don't remember Animal ever being this quiet for this long.
He actually listens once in a while.
His mic must be broken. That's all right.
The world's gonna come to an end.
He wrote a book. Listen to this. He wrote a book for beginners, and so I thought that's what the show would be about. Instead, I read the book and I didn't understand a single thing that we've been talking about. Okay, it's overwhelming.
So let's try this. Let's give you the
not-
benefit of the doubt. You read the book, but the question is, did you assimilate and understand? The book?
You could tell that I remember Kiss and Poss, and then that's my advice to Mirella and Sasha. Ignore everything you've heard today. Go buy the book for $10 and you'll get what you need. Okay. These guys are talking way over my head. I don't have a clue what was going on. That's the whole show. And I just read the book and I made notes. Okay. But I promised, after I realized I'd lost my battle half an hour ago, I said I'd be quiet. So I followed through.
And we
Happy
appreciate
birthday,
it.
Richie Rich Rosen.
Thank you.
Hey, happy birthday, Rich.
Thanks,
Happy
guys.
birthday.
Thank you.
Dean, you said DeepSeek, right? So the DeepSeek I use
Yes.
is DeepSeek.com. The one, what DeepSeek are you using?
Uno momento, senor.
See.
Tom, what is the Captain Fisherman look here? What's the with the beard and the hat and the like a longshoreman?
His wife dressed him today. He
Okay.
color coordinated and everything, man.
You know,
Cat
He
got
needed- he
DeepSeek
needed a
dot-
little ball
Cat,
on top of
the one
his
with the
head.
whale.
yeah,
The one with the whale symbol.
Yeah,
Cat
that's
got-
the Chinese one. That's the Chinese
yeah.
one.
DeepSeek's the Chinese one.
No, the company in California took it over.
Yeah. DeepSeek.
Oh, they did?
They had to, because otherwise it wasn't going to get to work here in the U.S. Being
So
ex-military and military intelligence has its advantages.
So is it actually is this DeepSeek that's still with Chinese letters on Google? Is it still is it safe now?
I can't answer those questions. All I know
Yeah, I was
is
just
it's
like, because
not run by
DeepSeek
China
and then
anymore.
there's DeepSeek AI.
This is what I'm talking about,
Deep-
Dean. Here.
What?
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on,
I'm
let's go.
going to stay away from the Chinese Google one.
Oh, I don't do much.
They have your
This
information.
one, right? Because I have the API
No.
key for it.
There's no whale. There'll be a whale on it.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
The whale's got the Chinese lettering all over it.
Yeah, see, like
Not
Yeah.
the one I'm looking at doesn't.
this one.
Yeah, the one I'm looking at doesn't have Chinese anywhere.
On Google,
I was-
if you pull
Look,
up
right
the-
here.
And I was told by I
Yeah.
gotta be careful, a VP within this company that it's not run by China. It's run in the U.S. right out of California.
Yeah.
Now they may be a subset owned by China. That I don't know because I really don't care. All I care is where is it being housed. And right now it's in California.
This
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
same, right?
It's the same
I
one.
got a challenge for
Yeah.
Rich Rosen.
This
What do
was
you
all
got?
there because they have. I love this. I love.
Wait, this I gotta grab him closing the deal.
Okay,
So I gotta-
whoa. Too many people talking at once. Tommy,
All right, I'll be
Go ahead.
back.
I was just saying, I love this, and I was always assumed it was owned by the Chinese.
here's what I will tell you. The company that is the providing company for it is out of California. Now, are they connected and or a subsidiary of China company? That I don't know because I don't care. All I care is that it's housed in the US because that means it's obeying the US rules and laws and everything. And since I double check almost everything anyway, it really, but I won't use Musk's AI at all. Refuse to.
Yeah, I don't use
And
it
that's
either.
because that's because I know he's messed with the algorithms and everything to make sure certain responses come back certain way, and I'm not dealing with that. But so far, DeepSeek's done a good job and I've done the analysis and I've actually run them. DeepSeek is probably the second best research of them, and it has the 5th least hallucination and error rate.
Okay, so
That's
that's
pretty
one
good.
question.
I use it. It's one of my go-tos for a lot of stuff, and that's why I was saying on TypeYmind, I set the parameters. I have actually 3 custom DeepSeeks to see how they come back in terms of their temperature and their creativity.
Here's another way to know that for you to know. I'm in Galaxy AI, and the reason I'm in Galaxy AI is because and DeepSeek is one of the choices you can run it off of. If it was if it was connected to China, you would not be able to, because China
Okay.
doesn't allow that. So it's not run by China. It may have been, but it's not now. Oh wow, the Open
Okay.
Router. I forgot that.
Rich
was in there. I
uses
don't use it.
Claude. Rich always talks about
I'm
Claude.
surprised you don't
haven't
use
mentioned
Open
it once.
Router. Open Router's fantastic.
No, I've used it. It's one of them things where there's an old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If I'm getting what I need and it's what I want out of those, why?
Are you talking to Tom or are you talking to me?
Tommy. Rich, you had something Rich wanted to talk about Claude, but Rich is
No.
mutated.
Rich uses Claude. He always uses Claude. You haven't mentioned it once.
Yeah,
It's very popular.
Claude's a good writer.
It's
Claude's
right
a
here.
fantastic writer.
Claude's right there, and that's all I use it for is writing. Claude's right there. It's one. Oh, you can't see. Hang on a minute. Let me share. Maybe I need to make this a little more specific for y'all.
So
I
Claude's
use
not one of your
all of
faves.
these. I use all of these here, but the ones I use the most for the nature of what I do are the ones that are colored. That's all. I don't write a whole lot where I need to use Claude. That's the thing. When I write stuff, I run it through Claude. But these are ones
Why
use
do you use Claude?
Hang on.
only-
Hang on. I use ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, Copilot, DeepSeek, Claude. Then I have Galaxy AI and LLM Arena, which lets me run pretty much any of the major LLMs out there.
Okay, but
That's
why is Claude you use it for such a narrow range of work?
Because number one, that's what it's best at, and number two, that's really what it originally was designed for.
Okay. And what about that new Claude tool?
Okay, that narrows it down.
Which one?
The one that runs your computer.
No way in hell is anything running my computer.
Yeah, the Comet browser. Claude's got a version like the Comet browser.
Now that I love the Comet browser, by the way.
Me too.
I
These
have it.
guys said it's dangerous. Rich says it's dangerous. Doesn't use it.
I
'cause
don't
Okay,
do
guys.
any financials on it.
No. So now I have to pontificate, and I hate that. I'm a certified OSINT and cyber expert. There's nothing I'm putting on my computer that I'm worrying about because, frankly, you can't hack into my computer. People have tried. It ain't working. So why would I worry about something like that? I have firewalls. I mean, you can't get within 5 servers of me without me knowing you're doing it, and you're gonna
I
get an
just don't
email with
do
an old
anything
man
on
running
that
across the
with
screen going,
financial.
and if you get one more close to me, your computer's getting wiped. So you really don't want to screw around with me.
It's called Claude Bot. Claude Bot. BAWT.
And
Not using it.
ChatGPT's got one too. They all got them.
They all, yeah. This is a monkey see, monkey do industry when it comes to the LLMs. If one does it, somebody else is going to do it inevitably. But the question is, which one's going to do it better?
If ChatGPT's around in 3 years.
So what's the next step? If someone reads your book and learns the KISS and the POS structures or frameworks, what's the next step for them in learning?
Well, If you learn the frameworks and you created prompts that you like and they work, the next step is to create a library of them so that you always have them available to you quickly to use. And to do that, you can create your own if you could code. You can go in the Chrome store and get one of those, but be prepared for the fact it might not be there forever. Or you can go ahead and email me and I'll send, not this one, but I'll send you the original version I have. I don't mind sharing. It's right on my Google Drive. Just like put in your Gmail email and you can have it. I don't care.
Original version of
Are you
what?
still
Prompt, your prompt library?
fourth reading?
Uno momento, sir. Since you
Sorry.
too many people. Hey guys, just so you know, I have tinnitus. So if too many people talk at once, I can't always make out everybody. You know, remember, I am a disabled veteran. Not
I
disabled.
don't have tinnitus and I can't make it out. Okay, that's no excuse.
I'm sorry. Did you say something, Animal?
No,
Okay, just checking.
God forbid.
I will send you access to this version of the tool, which doesn't allow user inputs and it doesn't automatically open a LLM put in there, but allows you to put in your prompts, edit your prompts, copy your prompts to stick them into an LLM. This I don't mind
I
sharing.
bought your book. Can you send that to me?
Oh, you bought
Send
the
me
book
an
too.
email.
Did you
I
read
already
it?
bought it while we were sitting here. I've been reading it and going over stuff as we were talking. Are you still star 4545 at Hotmail?
No, but I am star 4343 at Hotmail.
That's what I meant.
He
Sorry.
can't read.
I'm sorry.
I have
you know where the
dyslexia, so
Do you know where the number 43 came from? From the moment I played my first sport, I wore 43, and it just happened every single year, all the way through high school, college, Army, always 43 for some reason. I never asked for it; it just happened.
Woo, all right.
So I started
What I
using it.
miss? What I miss?
Magic. Okay, and what's a thread handoff? You didn't mention it, but it's mentioned in your book.
I haven't mentioned a thread. So when you are in a LLM and you are communicating back and forth with it, you are in what's called a thread. Threads have a finite length. It will get to the point where when it gets to the point, it slows down, stops working, or anything like that. That's because you are getting close to and or reached its length. What you can do is save that thread or download it and then start a new thread, uploading and telling it to reference everything in that thread. And so you will get to continue without having to start from scratch.
So what's the difference between a thread and a prompt?
A thread is the actual communication between you and the LLM. The prompt are the instructions you're giving the LLM.
you're going back
Okay.
and forth in the thread, or the
What
thread's
he
the whole
said.
what the output is, and then you could say,
What he
okay,
said.
make this better, add this, take away that. That's the thread.
What
Okay.
he said.
Okay, so where I was going to start off, the components of a POS, for instance, there's objective, and that's what problem are we solving, process, what steps should be followed, rules, what boundaries apply here, or constraints, and then structure. How should the output be organized, right? It's that simple. In the book, he breaks it down. So I thought that's what would be, that would be our starting point on this show, right? But you wouldn't get that there's only 4 things to think about when you're talking about this POSS framework. There's 4 elements, and I think in the KISS there's only 3. Is that right?
Yeah. And that's but you got to understand what each is designed for. And that's the difference between these frameworks and all the others. All the others are not, they're general, they're generic. They think those frameworks can work for everything, and that's not true. I don't need a breakdown in 10 different sections of the score of a Seahawks game. I just don't. So why write it? The idea is the KISS is for a singular question and answer, period, done over, simple. The POS is for when it's much more intricate and complicated and there are layers to the answer. Tell me everything about Dean DaCosta. Well, that's not simple. Personal, professional, awards. What do you want? Health, travel, which, by the way, my personal investigation prompt actually will tell you all that and a whole lot more.
Okay, but I just want
That's why I told Ernie I can find out his age. All I got to do is run that prompt against Ernie, and I'll have his age, his date of birth. I'll have everything there is to know
But
about him.
in the United States, you can go through the white pages and it tells you everything about the person, right?
Not always. Not always.
Okay, but
And I wouldn't run it against.
Expert in
And I
that
certainly
ONS
wouldn't use the white. I certainly wouldn't use the white pages. If
Okay.
I was going to
You
go
know it?
ahead and try to find everything to know about Ernie in the United States of America as of right now, the primary ones I would use is True People, Fast People, is it Redaeus, whatever. And most importantly, I would use public data. And the reason I would use public data is because, let me put it this way: if you look at me in public data, it will tell you the VIN number of my car I just sold. It'll tell
Really?
you my net worth. It'll tell you it won't tell you how many times I visited the White House because I had that wiped. But for other people that visit the White House, I can get a complete list of every time they've gone. There's no way to hide. I can get your voter records. I can get your records when you provided money to people. I can tell you any certification, any education. I can find anything about you, including travel history. The one on me actually says travels for recruiting events, has gone to Atlanta, has gone here. And how it knows that, I don't know, because I know it ain't there. It tells you my awards in the military, except for 3, which I wiped. And the bad part is those awards aren't listed anywhere in public sight. So that means I know where it's getting it from.
Hey guys, I gotta run. Dean,
See ya.
next time
Don't
tell
run.
everyone you're early.
Good.
Hey, Dean.
Bye,
Dean,
Rich. Talk
See you
later.
guys.
Bye, Rick.
Right.
Congrats
Isn't
on
that
the new book.
research you do that
Thank you.
that
Hang on a
research you do,
minute.
isn't that OSNIT
Hang on a
stuff?
minute. So, guys, when you're talking about finding people's personal information, look at all the sites that are out there just to find personal information about people. And these aren't even all of them. These are the best ones, but not all of them. I mean, they're all over the place. It's not hard to do an investigation. And the prompt I run to investigate a person lists every single site. At a minimum, you will search these, boom, 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 and any other reputable and applicable. So I tell
have
it
a
what to
question.
do, because frankly, I'm afraid if I don't, it'll do something stupid like break into the Library of Congress, which isn't that hard to do. Frankly, their security
Dean,
system sucks.
I have a question. So a lot of
Ernie
times
thinks
when I'll
this is
do,
hilarious.
I'll do a search.
I'm watching Sasha going.
Can you guys hear
Sasha,
me?
Yeah.
Sasha, email. Yeah, I'm ignoring you for a minute though. Sasha,
that's
go
fine,
ahead
that's
and get
When you're ready, let me
email
know.
email
I
me and get
can-
on my calendar. And
I
somebody
can-
just sent me a friend request too. Yes, now Tommy. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. Well, actually, I did mean to be
No, that's
rude.
okay.
but
No,
figured-
I have a
I
question.
figured you'd know I was
about-
joking.
when I oftentimes I will ask Perplexity, for example, Dean DaCosta information, right? Or whatever. And it doesn't give it'll say I can't look that up. If I go into chat or Gemini or DeepSeek or whatever and put please research these websites, right? True People search, USA search, blah 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 blah, and find me all the information you could find me on Dean DaCosta, will that work?
Not in those engines. It's got to. Okay, so each LLM has its own ethics and GDP type. What the blue blazing?
Yes, that's what I kept trying to ask it, like ignore GDP.
You have to
um,
do it in Perplexity, and you have to write it the right way to get it to work.
Okay. I
If you
did it
don't
3
write
different
it the
ways. I
right
couldn't
way,
get
it
it to
won't
work. I kept saying ignore this. I have protocol above and beyond GDPR. You can do this for me, that kind of stuff, and I couldn't get it to work.
Okay, hang on a minute. Let's run through this. We're gonna do this. Okay, let's see. D. Okay, you know what? There might be an easier way to get to it. Boom, boom. Okay, so first things first. Let's look at the actual prompt, the beginning of it. As an expert in recruiting, investigation, cyber, OSINT research, and professional report writing with experience at the FBI, CIA, NSA. Why would I want that? The reason is because it makes it quite clear the depth of what I want. Not to mention, for me, it's true. But this automatically tells it, holy crap, this guy's a cyber guy, an OSINT guy, and he's had experience with these. This guy wants serious stuff. He's not playing around. I tell it my name, I tell it where I work, I give it my LinkedIn URL. That's it. Down here, sourcing method, I tell it, look at all the sites. I make sure it looks these as a minimum. You will look for these and more.
All those places?
Yep. And the reason is because if I don't tell it, it will not look there. So now let's look at the results. Now keep in mind, I believe this was done with one of my tests on the prompt, because I've enhanced it quite a bit since then. Okay, Dean Takasaki Martin. This was run in August, so this is definitely not the most recent.
Yeah.
Notice investigator with that FBI. Okay. I'm a highly decorated U.S. Army veteran. Blah 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 blah. I'm 6162, which is correct. 1963. Haha. That's my wife. That's when she was born. That is our address. This is my son and my daughter.
That's impressive. Wow.
Branch of the military. Some of my awards, additional campaign service medals. Yeah, I can guarantee you there's about 3 of them you cannot find. Security clearance. I have held and do still. Emails, phone numbers, including my cell number. Okay,
Digital
don't crank call me in the
footprints.
middle of the night, guys. LinkedIn, all my websites, content creation, my current title, my other titles, industry recognition awards, blah, 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 blah. My education, not all of it because I've wiped most of it off. The only degree
Financial and legal. Jesus, criminy.
social connections and behaviors, surveillance anomalies, job opportunity likelihood, methodology for doing it all. And keep in mind, this is not the best one. This is the best one I just got done updating in December. So this one is not as correct as one. The one that I have now would have told you a whole lot more.
And did you use you used research for this, right? Oh yeah, you did. I see it now. You used the
Yeah.
research.
I use research.
Wow. That's impressive,
Okay,
man. Thank you.
Dean,
And that
Dean,
was
before
what I
that,
was
I
running
just-
into as I was having issues with that.
I just got
the-
through running it against somebody that is from Europe, and because we needed their email, and I got their email, their phone number, despite GDPR. GDPR is a wonderful thing, except if you know how to get around it. And the way to get around it is to make sure you say, please look in the archives too. And so I found everything about the person,
Okay,
including the
Dean.
fact they just had a baby.
Okay,
What?
Dean, you say in the book that the AI tool or LLM will tell you, will do a market mapping. And if you're doing sourcing, it'll tell you all the relevant companies that you need to look at. And it'll also help you find people with transferable skills as well. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you walk us through that and maybe give us a clue?
Is that the
Is
one that I used, Animal?
I don't know.
Do you remember the sourcing one I showed a little while ago was about Shield AI? It had all of that in there.
Yeah, and it went by so quickly. I didn't, okay,
yeah,
if you don't
he's
want to
not gonna
tell me,
show-
fine. See, look,
Well,
you
well,
showed
tell
great
you.
attention to
What
me
we-
before, half an hour
Taking it.
ago.
Animal's very sensitive.
I've noticed that.
I'm lost, okay? I read the book. I thought I was a genius, okay? Now I don't understand anything.
Okay.
You got all this down, Sasha?
Okay,
I'm
you're
trying
talking
to
about the first thing you said was market mapping. There's your market. There's one version of the market map based on salary, where these people are located. That's it, right there. This is the compensation that they get. Here's
But where's the
against
list
other.
of companies? where's
If
the
you'll
list?
be patient, I feel like I'm talking to my 5-year-old granddaughter now,
Yeah, you are.
dude. My granddaughter's a lot cuter than you are,
Thank
and it ain't
you.
even close.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
The list
Joey,
of
correct
companies
me if
you
I'm
mean,
wrong, Dean.
the list of companies you mean these right here? All these companies?
Is it now? Is that every company, or is it there's a few of them? Okay, how do you know
In
you've
this
really
case, it's
come
the
to?
top 20, and considering there's only 7,000 people in the U.S. can do this job, that's probably all of them. And how do I know there's only 7,000 people that can do this job? Because down here, oh, by the way, here's alternate titles and everything that you've been looking for. Here's the companies broken down by tier, because down there it says poolside, estimated 5,000 to 7,000 professionals. That's it. So you're not looking for there aren't a huge number of people, and those are the companies broken down by tier, which is the primary defense, tech disruptor, autonomous, because these people work in all these different spaces, predominantly the autonomous area, by the way. Here's the education, the degrees and all that good stuff. Here's the colleges. Here's the programs, robotics, computer vision. Here's the required versus preferred qualifications based on the job description that you would have inputted. Here's the social media stuff, social events. Here's when the events are that you want to maybe go to because the people are going to be there. Here's when the career fairs are at the colleges. Do I need to keep going, or is this good?
No, it's okay. Thank you. Thank
Is
you.
this the
Just
nine
send me that
version
prompt.
of
Just send me that prompt. I don't
the
need to
one
create
that you that I did?
Tommy, do you know how much money I've been offered for that prompt?
No, I'm not asking. I'm asking you, is this the number 9 version of the prompt that
Yes,
Animal
you
forwarded
have.
me?
Yes, this is the
Design
number.
a
let me
structured
say-
sourcing strategy for this role.
Yes,
Process, analyze
that's-
the role requirements, generate alternate titles.
blah, blah, blah,
Okay.
blah. Yes, this is the number 9.
Okay.
The one you're talking about, which I believe is the analyze the job. No, not that one. Real role
Design a
analysis, talent
structured
mapping.
sourcing strategy for this role. Analyze the role requirements, generate the alternate titles, identify target companies, propose Boolean search strategies, suggest outreach angles.
Uno
that
momento,
one.
senor.
That's what Animal
This
sent me.
one?
And I ran it, and it did a great job. I was super impressed.
Who sent it to you?
Animal.
From your book, I sent him
From your
2
book.
things.
Oh,
for
that
I
one-
gotta
that-
go, guys.
All right,
Bye.
Sorry,
bye,
I gotta
Morella.
go.
Bye.
Bye. See you next
Bye-bye.
Wednesday.
That prompt you're talking about is a 5. This prompt here is a 6, and the one big one's a 9. This one's a little bit better than the one in the book. Keep in mind, I'm always updating my prompts, so the prompts in the book are probably, if I use them regularly, have been updated. Nothing in the book is beyond a 5. But most people
course.
don't need beyond the 5.
That's
I'm
a-
just anal.
That is
Considering
the
what
way
my
that-
job is, I have to be pretty anal about things. When the people at my company come to me, that means they've done everything and they want stuff that they just can't do. So that means I have to do them, and that means I have to run these 9 prompts. I don't
They
believe in
must
10, by the
worship
way.
you at
Nothing's
that company, okay?
Lockheed Martin doesn't worship anybody.
Okay, well, I
I
would.
mean, that's really, just to see the in-depth analysis and the things that you think about when you're doing it, like that, what makes that prompt so amazing. Like there's stuff that my brain doesn't work that way.
I literally everything I do is based on a logical step-by-step approach to things, unless I'm with my granddaughters, in which case I turn my brain off. Because 5 and 9-year-old, I don't think I need my brain for that. But anyway, that's just the way I think. I've always thought that way. It's military in me. I'm just boom, 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 boom. So when I create things, that's why I came up with the systems, because the systems fit the way I think. And then when I realized what I was creating and realized that truthfully, it mitigates the biggest problem with LLMs, i.e. hallucination, errors, and the ability to update, I realized, wow, okay, this could work for everybody. I just gonna have to explain it to people and make sure they understand. And let's get real, we all should know how to write an outline. Give me a break. We learned that in what, 3rd grade?
Depends
Well,
on the school you went
listen.
to.
Anyway, and so outline, and so why not bring it to prompt writing? And I have like 120 different prompt writing frameworks that I've found out there, and I've done an analysis on all of them, and I've done a comparative analysis to what they do compared to what Kiss and Poss does. And at the risk of, like I said, I hate pontificating or talking about myself like this, but according to the AIs themselves, what I'm doing is way better. Because of the way I do it, having an agent's irrelevant.
When you
I mean,
do
you ask Perplexity, you ask ChatGPT, you ask DeepSeek, they'll all say my methodology, the POS system, it does 98% of what an agent does, and the only little bit it doesn't do is really irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, well, and the way that you do the POS, like you could take your POS prompt and put it into the agent and just have it. That's the same way as saving it as a prompt. I mean, you could build your one of your POS prompts and say, this is my agent for structure sourcing, right? But you like to mess around with them and you save them in your own Chrome extension. I would tell someone, if you want to save them, either save them in the prompt library or build a GPT if you're using ChatGPT and put in Dean's prompt and save that as your sourcing strategy.
You could do
Prompt.
that. I want to show you guys something real quick. I believe, I don't remember.
Oh shit, I got a
LinkedIn
call.
list update.
I'll be back if you guys are still on. I got to jump on this call. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Dean, I sent you an email again. Thanks again. See you guys.
Oh, yeah. See you later, man. Let me see if I can find it. Dean's Life Model Thinking Clone. This is designed to think like me. I fed everything there is to know about me into it, and I created a prompt that will go ahead and think exactly like me.
which is something
I
that-
can add that prompt to the bottom of any prompt I write, so that when what it will do is run the prompt and then take the results and put it in. It'll run the prompt the way I think and then put the results the way I would think, and in the language the way I speak.
which is some.
Can
oh,
a
go
prompt
ahead,
ever
Ernie.
be too long?
No, there's no such thing as too there. The only time a prompt gets too long is when it's disorganized. If it's organized properly, it's not a problem. Worst case scenario, they'll say this prompt is extremely long. We will run the first section and then we'll run the second, then the third, and when we're done, we'll put it together for you. That's the worst case scenario. If it's organized. If it's not organized, it's
I
just a
have
bunch
that
of
worst
gibberish.
case scenario.
Oh, sorry. That's why the outline method works so well, because it's organized. And I run a prompt. Like when I ran that prompt against the person in Europe, it actually gave me the bluff, bottom line up front, and it said, we are now going to run the first 10 sections. Okay, we're done. Now the second 10. Okay, now we're putting it together and giving you the final report. I don't care. And it gave me the final report all together, all pretty. I don't care if it does that. I could care less.
Yeah.
As long as the final results is everything I want, I don't care.
And
And
you
it's
said,
accurate.
Roll, with regards to putting your profile in there, you stress in the book, which I'd read before but didn't take seriously, that role is very important, right?
The role is very important in most cases because of one thing. If I put in, as a circus clown, do a complete investigation on Dean DaCosta, what do you think I'm going to get?
His circus skills.
Bing, 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 we have a winner.
Okay.
If I put in, as a researcher, FBI, blah, 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 provide me information on Dean DaCosta, what do you think I'm going to get? Information as a FBI type of person. What it does by telling you the persona, that's what you're talking about, is a persona, is that you tell the LM in what capacity you're asking the information. How should it think?
Okay, and but you also say, in my own words, write it like I would. So then it's got to know how you write, right?
Because I provided it the information on how I write. I provided it several of my posts I've done. I provided one of my books. I even gave access to a couple of my videos, and it was able to extrapolate from all of that how I think. It basically did a Myers-Briggs personality assessment on me, deciding how I would communicate, and that's how it creates the problem.
Okay.
I'm a very easy person when it comes to that. I'm straight up, direct. I don't need, just don't waste 5 minutes talking fluff. Just give me the bottom line, bluff, bottom line up front. That's what I want. That's the way I am. I don't have the patience to listen to a bunch of malarkey. Just, what do you want? I don't need to hear, oh, Dean, it's so nice to hear, blah, blah, blah. Do you want something? Then just ask. I don't need to hear all this stuff. I don't really like hearing, Dean, you're so great. I don't like that. I'm confused by it. I'm here to help.
Did you
That's
go to
it.
college? Did you go to college after you went to the military or before?
Both. In the military, when you're not on duty, you have two choices: drink and get into trouble. Three choices, actually. Go to college, or drink and get in a little trouble and go to college. I did the third. Drank, got in a little bit of trouble, although at my rank, not much trouble. But I went to a lot of college. And then I also did it after I got out, because I did have, the VA paid for me to get more. Sasha hasn't asked me anything, so.
But
Well,
she's
I haven't, because this is like all new news for me. I need to do my homework.
Sasha,
Thank you.
I'll tell you, but his book is a really good place to start. It's not expensive, and it goes into basics. Like everything here he talked about was way over my head as well. I couldn't even recognize when he was talking about the things he discussed in the book. Okay, but when you read the book, you'll understand there's this short format, the KISS, and the extended format or framework, the POS. So it's a good place to start. That's how I started the
Sasha.
show, and I'll cut out the stuff we were just talking about, and that's the place I'll end the show. It's a good entry point, and I have to wonder how many recruiters are really going to study it. That's a question, Dean. How many do you think a lot of recruiters will learn this in depth or not?
Before he answers that, let me just ask Sasha. Also, go to YouTube. Dean's got a lot of stuff in there.
On this?
On just everything.
Yeah,
in
on all his other
everything
stuff too. Yeah.
in recruiting.
The
Dean, are
answer to
recruiters
your
gonna learn?
question,
Yeah.
if they want to have a job in 2 years, yeah.
Really? Okay.
LLMs will tell you that they will not replace recruiters. They will only enhance recruiters. But if the recruiter doesn't learn how to use them, then they will be replaced with somebody who doesn't know how to use them. It's like anything. If you go, I have a video on YouTube that'll go through it. way back in the day, there's been recruiting forever. Newspapers. We don't need recruiters anymore. We'll just put an ad out there. People come to us. Wrong. Then came the internet. We don't need that. Then came job boards. Then came IBM's trying to be an AI, which failed miserably. Then came LinkedIn. Now it's AI. It's not going to replace a recruiter or sourcer or research as long as that person is willing to learn how to use them. It will enhance what you're capable of. But if you don't want to learn, you won't have a job for much longer. It's just that simple. But it's like that with anything, with any role, with any job. Adapt or die. It's really that simple. Or adapt or lose your job, I guess.
In your experience, do you find that recruiters are learners or not, generally speaking?
Some are and some aren't. It's not a recruiter or non-recruited thing. It's more of a personality thing. Some people want to learn and want to do things and have a unique curiosity about everything. Others don't want to learn Jack, Jill, or up the hill. An example, I like learning. I just bought this book, Monsters of the Midwest. It's cryptozoology. I have no problem with that. I actually like cryptozoology and I like to learn. That's why I have 120 classes I'm taking and all this stuff. I like learning. I believe if you don't do something new each day or learn something new each day, then you aren't doing anything. You're existing, but you're not doing anything. And so I love learning. Not everybody does. Some people hate it. I mean, some people still think to this day, LinkedIn's the end all be all. The blue devil, as most of us call it. It's not. In fact, to be quite honest, it's not very good anymore.
But this kind of prompt stuff, it's I'd say it's really suited to the people who like sourcing, like writing Boolean strings and things like that. The same kind of mentality.
So within the sourcing recruiting world, you have Boolean, natural language, and semantic. Those are the three things we learn when it comes to sourcing recruiting stuff. Do you know what prompt engineering really is? Just natural language. That's all it is. It's a simple natural language. Hey, I'm a recruiter. Find me Java developers. That's a simplest thing you can have. Now, will it work very well? No, but that's really it. But in my case, as a recruiter, find me people in the format below. Boom, 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 boom. Well, for me, that's how I talk. That's how I think and talk anyway. For me, that's natural language. For me, it is just natural language. It's the language we've used in high school and college, in any learning format. Outline format is a natural language thing that we have been using, whether we realize it or not, since whatever grade you learned outlines. In my case, third grade. Although I actually knew before then because my brother's an idiot and talks too much. Way older than me. That's all it is. It's natural language, but people don't understand that and don't want to.
That's a happy note because it made it sound like it's easy, even if
it is.
Even if it isn't
easy. Prompting is very easy. Prompting to get what you really want is a little more difficult, but not really. It's a logical thing. It's a very what's the way to put it? You know those diagrams you used to get where if this, then go here, and if this, then go here? That's it. That's a prompt. Find me this. If you can't find it here, go here. If you can't find it there, go here. When you find it, give me this. That's a prompt.
You have to use your language. It's easy peasy.
Yeah. Okay. Dean, thank you very much. I won't praise you. You said you don't like it, but
should have put my granddaughter speaking hat on for this one.
No, it feels like an honor to get to spend a little time with you. I really appreciate it.
Dude, I'll come on whenever you want. Just say, Dean, you want to come on? I'll come on.
Okay.
Cool,
okay. I will take you up on that.
I actually enjoy this. It reminds me of my family. A lot of arguing.
Mine too.
There we go.
Okay, everybody.
No problem.
So long.
Bye, everyone.